Remember that all things are possible. You must choose to be accountable, responsible, enough to believe, and open your heart to receive. Responsible, enough to believe.
Above and look at your life, and you see the life you live. Can you be surprised that it all turned out this way and not the way you planned? It's about what you know and what you understand. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Learn to follow that inner voice inside. That's the one that's telling you not to run and hide. See what your life could be when you visualize. It's about what you choose that you'll realize. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Now it's time for you to plan out your life. Seeing what you do by your own design. It's all up to you to make it what you can. It's of your own free will. What don't you understand? Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Your life is a choice. Choice, life's a choice. It's a choice. Make a choice.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਗ ਆਸਾ ਮਹੱਲਾ ਚੌਥਾ ਸੋ ਪੁਰਖ ਏਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤਿਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਸੋ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹਰ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹਰ ਅਗਮਾ ਅਗਮ ਅਪਾਰਾ ਸਭ ਤੇ ਆਵ ਹੈ ਤੁਧ ਜੀ ਹਰ ਸੱਚੇ ਸਿਰਜਣਹਾਰਾ ਸਭ ਜੀ ਤੁਮਾਰੇ ਜੀ ਤੂੰ ਜੀਆ ਕਾ ਦਾਤਾਰਾ हर त्याव हो संतो जी सब दुख विसारणहारा हर आपे ठाकुर हर आपे सेवक जी क्या नानक जंत विचारा तू घट घट अंतर सर्व निरंतर जी हर एको पुरख समान एक दाते एक भिखारी जी सब तेरे छोट बिराना तू आपे दाता आपे
Jimmy
भुगता
Fairchild,
जी
man, it's been
हूँ
years
तुद
since I've
बिन
seen you
अवर
move.
न जाना तू
MK,
पार ब्रह्म
Dana,
बेअंत
Andrew,
बेअंत
Rich,
जी तेरे
Carlos
क्या
Mendes
गुण
Alba,
आँख
Grant
खाना
Holt, Brian
जो
Rose.
सेव
Welcome,
हैं जो
everyone.
सेव हैं तुद जी जन नानक तिन कुर्बाना हर त्याग हैं तुद जी से चंद जोग में सुखवासी से मुक्त पए जन हर त्याया जी तिन टूटी जम की फांसी जिन हर निरपौ त्याया जी तिन का पो सब गवासी जिनसे
everyone hear me okay?
मेरा
I got a
हर
message that
जीते
you couldn't
हर
hear me.
हर रूप समासी
Everything okay?
से तन जन हर त्याया जी जन नानक तिन बर जासी तेरी भगत भंडार जी परे बेअंत
I'm good,
बेअंता तेरे भगत
Someone say yes,
सलाह
Keith. I can hear you just
हर
fine if
अनेक
that is the
अनेक
case.
अनंता तेरी
Kenneth, how are you,
अनेक
sir?
करह हर पूजा जी तप तपह
A little
जपह
bit of checking
बेअंता
on my end.
तेरे अनेक पढ़ह पो सिमरत शास्त्र जी कर क्रिया खट कर्म करंता से भगत भले जन नानक जी जो पावे मेरे हर भगवंता तू आद पुरख अपरंपर करता जी तुझ जेवड़ अवन कोई
Can you hear me better
तू
now?
जुग एको सदा तू
Just as it
एको
should
जी
be. I
तू
don't usually have
चल
these
करता
problems.
सोई तुद आपे पावे सोई वरता जी तू आपे करह
Do a quick check real quick. We'll get this presentation going. I have a very powerful experience coming your way. Very powerful. Check my microphone. All right. I'm assuming everything's okay. Better. The name of that music is my spiritual band called Lavender Soul. If you're interested in purchasing some of that music, contact me. Facebook inbox or Keith Anthony Blanchard at Gmail. I'd like to put a copy of Lavender Soul in the snail mail for you. That's the CD cover for the last album called Beautiful World. My friend Bernard, the singer, when he gets back from France, we're going to begin to write a new album, which I am so happy about. So again, I was saying hello to everyone. Nick, Sue, Norma, Rob Cooley, Elwood Co-op. So tonight I'm going to be talking to you about powering up. Recognize, plug in, and manifest. Three-step program. Really easy. It can be. Once we begin to recognize what everything is and how it moves, we can call it God, omnipresent. See people walking down the street. God's walking down the street with all these people. And when you begin to see the dynamic and the dance of energy that's constantly moving, and you begin to recognize it because you're now looking from a different perspective. You're not so mundanely focused and trying to figure out all the mechanics. Figuring out the mechanics, metaphysics is fun, but it's not necessary. When you pull your vision back, it's exactly what you have is vision, the capacity to see greater and much broader, because in your pulling back of it all, you get to take more in. You do this a while, and you'll begin to see something that was always there. Always there. ALWAYS space WAYS. Always there. Then you begin to understand and see and experience how you yourself
begin to affect the tapestry. You've always affected the tapestry. But you get now the opportunity to see it. You do a little something, and it creates a ripple. Do a little something else, and it creates another ripple. Do more of the same, and the ripple gets bigger, and the return gets bigger. So when we get to recognize the truth of what is really going on, then we have the optimum opportunity to be able to plug into it. We recognize and then we plug in. And once we plugged into the grid, the energy grid of it all, the God of it all, the God grid, which is everything, everywhere, all the time. When we get with that program, then manifesting your life becomes a very, very simple thing because you've already done the work. You've recognized, that's what it is. Here's how I plug in. It's basically when you want to begin to the manifestation process of your life, be it financial abundance, a new job, loving relationship, new house, peace, greater degrees of intuition, spiritual expansion, expansion of awareness, whatever it may be, moving through a block, becomes as simple as, metaphorically, picking up a small pebble and throwing it into a still pond. And you leave it alone. Now you can keep watering your plant, so to speak, with intention. But you don't want to overwater it because you don't want to drown it. You don't want to drown your creation by constantly checking to see if it's happening. That's called no trust. And you will always fall short of what it is you're trying to experience in your life. Recognize, plug in, and manifest. If you're interested in this program, you'll be getting some of it tonight. But if you're serious and you want to take this to a level in your life, and not only do you have the opportunity to get cool things, but what's even greater than that is what happens in here. Because those cool things are only a reflection of what happens in here. So you get the grand prize twice. You get the capacity of feeling to a greater degree, probably more than you'd ever known up at least to that point. Or we may have all had glimpses of it whenever we found ourselves in an experience that we just filled with utter bliss. But I'm talking about making this linger so much so that it's an unbroken flow. If you're interested in this program, you can go to centeroflightradio.com. The bottom of the opening page, you will see a red Ferrari. Click on it. It'll take you to a website that says RPM, Recognize, Plug In, and Manifest Your Life. And notice that all these words I'm using to describe this program has to do with revving up an engine, a red Ferrari, RPM. Because I liken it to that because it's very analogous. It's very powerful. You sit in a Ferrari and you start that car. Tell me what you feel. It's like being in the presence of a rock star or a movie star. There's a feeling associated with that. And that's why I call it RPM. That page, once you click on the red Ferrari at the bottom of centeroflightradio.com webpage, on that red Ferrari, it'll take you to another webpage, RPM, Recognize, Plug In, and Manifest. It'll tell you what you get, which is all of my works, my bestseller, all digital downloads, of course. My bestseller, this, that, Do What You Love, the movie. A big old list of things to get you well on your way to beat your feet towards your bliss. You also get one-on-one time with me, so I can be the sounding board for you to help you get clear, because it's not about me telling you what you're going to do. It's about me helping you get clear about something you are trying to experience in your life. You can always send me an email at keithanthonyblanchard@gmail.com. Say, Keith, I would love a free session with you. I will give you a free session. You get a glimpse of this program. RPM, my life's work, my lifelong work, over 25 years, diligently, steadfastly, earnestly, blood, sweat, tears, passion, sincerity, humility, and vulnerability. So if whoever's still here, could everyone just say, hi, I like knowing who's here. It helps me to spend my energy, because people run through my mind constantly when I do these feeds. And I like using my will to bridge, to create a connection as if we're all holding hands in this experience. It creates for a more powerful presentation with a serious impact and punch. The hellos and highs are coming in. Allie, Dana, Elwood, Sue, Maria, Sharon, Amy, Allie, Sonia, Paul Crum, Greg. All right. Yanava, it has begun. For those who are new to this experience, Yanava, it has begun. What does that mean, Keith? In short, it's the name of the soul. Everyone's soul is named Yanava. Ya means heart or will. Na means mind or intellect. Va means backbone or action. And it takes these three components to bring about basically your RPM. The number 3 is powerful. It's in 3. It's usually always in 3s. You have to recognize, you have to plug in, and then you begin the manifestation process. So Yanava is a great way to get your soul's attention. Why not call its name? Anytime you want to get someone's attention, you call their name. Yanava, it has begun. And you lay out what it is you're wanting to experience. But also, in the doing of Yanava, you are choosing in that moment to align with your soul consciously. I just handed you a very powerful nugget that could change your life. Not that you're broken. None of us are. We like experience. Ya. Nava. It has begun. And you open your hands and you visualize what it is you are choosing in your experience. Deeper degrees of peace, joy, and bliss. And in your declaration, in your opening statement, in your phone call to soul, Yanava, in that moment you feel it by your mere intention to connect. Now you feel that you have a new kind of power that's in your hands. As you filter your vision through that said power that is in your hands. I can use new employment right now. Yanava, it has begun. And whatever it is that you love, something you really, really want to do because you love it and you're going to get paid for it, and you see it, you visualize it through the feelings of power that are moving through your body because you just connected to the soul. Because when you connected consciously to the soul, you are aware of everything that's happening within your infrastructure, within you. Right now, I'm connected to soul. Right now, soul is speaking. And when you connect, there is no doubt. You absolutely know. And once you absolutely know, there's no longer a need for faith. Because no matter how you slice that pie, faith can still be seen only as a belief. The word faith does not describe it whatsoever. It pales in comparison to when you connect with soul, because there is a knowing, as in a remembering, but also foreseeing that you will never not exist. And you expand beyond time. And when you feel and play and manipulate with this kind of energy, you know it. It's palpable. It's tangible. The unreachable is reachable, I tell you. So you hold what it is you want to bring into your experience in your hand. And you feel the power that's moving through your body. Close your eyes right now. I will guide you and let you feel your power. We all have power. This is not dabbling or playing with something that of a dark nature. That's ridiculous, so please stop it. Close your eyes and breathe like you want to experience something beyond what you have always known. That is called intention, my dear friend. Serious, powerful intention. And it's not an arduous task. It doesn't require working it and beating it to death and forcing a square peg in a round hole until finally it somewhat fits and we get a bone or a scrap piece of information. That's too hard. God made it easy. Really fucking easy. Real easy. So you breathe like you want something and you mean it. You're sincere about it. In fact, you genuflect, you reverent, and you humble yourself. Please, dear Lord, bring something to me. And you breathe with this intention. The first breath is for connecting. Here again, we go back to the threes again. The first breath is, I want to connect to my divine parent and play in the garden of soul. Just like that. The second breath is, I want to be aware of my connection and the expansion it does inside of me. And by you making it so, it becomes so. But now you have the soul on your side because you're consciously connected now, and it begins to push. And you feel it. And your third breath is to see it. What if I told you or asked you if you believed this idea? That every night when you go to bed, you take a flower out of the vase that you have on your dining table, and you hold it in your hand as you lay down to go sleep. You hold it. You lay it on your chest. You hold this beautiful flower and you smell it. Make it real. Lay it on your chest, hold it in your hands, and you fall asleep. Would you believe me if I told you? Or do you believe the likeliness of this? Let's say you did that for 2 weeks. Do you think it's possible? Very likely. Absolutely. That when you fall asleep one night, that in your dreamscape, you will remember that you went to bed holding a flower. I'm sure everyone in here would say absolutely. We've all heard that. Well, the reason you have that dream about whatever you did last night is because, don't you remember, just right before we went to bed, you were watching that TV program? Becky says absolutely. Right? Hello, Heather. Hello, Mike, Nancy, Steph. So, if we can hold a flower in our hand before we go to sleep, as we go to sleep for 2 weeks, until one night you become consciously aware and you remember, oh my gosh, when I went to bed last night, I was holding a flower and it's in my hand. We've even heard people say, well, that's why you dreamed that weird dream last night, because right before you went to bed, you watched that program. Remember? So if that's possible, can you reverse the process? They both have to exist or they both do not. Can you go to sleep at night, find a garden, pluck a flower, and when you wake up in the morning, you have said flower in your hand? Do you think that is possible? Remember, both of them exist or both do not. It's never a one-way street. Same idea when it comes to manifesting. I'm holding not a flower, but a metaphorical something in my hand. A red Ferrari. I like red Ferraris. Sounds kind of shallow. I don't care. I want a red Ferrari. And this is the law of manifesting your life. Is you see what you want, relationship, financial abundance, Ferrari, greater degrees of peace, intuition, whatever it is your little heart desires. And you hold it in your hand like you did that flower. And you're bringing something from the realm of the unmanifest to the realm of the manifest, all by mere intention, by will, free will. We were given free will to do with it what we want freely. But often our free will has cost us a bundle because of our ignorance. Causes trouble in life, bumps and bruises. From my bestseller, The Divine Principle, I asked Spirit, will you please tell me how to manipulate energy so that I can make my life work better? Spirit says, since you are a spiritual work in progress, you still perceive most things as made up of solid matter, not free energy. Your mind sees a chair as a chair, a table as a table, and until you change your mind, the chair will remain a chair and the table will remain a table. They cannot become anything else until you make the shift. If you were to point to a chair and ask a Zen master, what is that? The answer you would get would most likely not match your own. He might tell you that he sees firewood or a stepladder. And I asked Spirit, why would he do that? Spirit continues, because that master, with his advanced way of seeing things, understands that the chair could become firewood, a stepladder, or anything he needed it to be. It's called backing up, taking in perspective, becoming much broader with our vision. Since you are not yet similarly attuned as the master, your mind still convinces you that you are looking at a chair, even though your eyes are seeing it as the radiated light it is. Keith, if you like, I can explain the quantum mechanical physics involved, but what would you do with that? You know me well, not a thing. But could you explain it to me in layman's terms? When the eyes see a chair, they take it in as radiated light, first through the lens, then the pupil, then on to the optic nerve, and finally to the brain for analysis. The eyes instantly and literally pull the chair's matter apart. strand by strand, from the gross of it down to the nucleic particles of its atoms. You got that so far? And I say, I'm getting it. Good. Because getting the very simplicity of this idea is enough to help you succeed. If you want to be able to transform that chair into a table, you have to first know that the chair is not separate from you. That job, that red Ferrari, that financial abundance, that relationship, the spiritual expansion, the development of greater degrees of intuition. It's not separate from you. You must see it as an extension of your own self. Once you can see such dense matter as light particles, you will realize that your mind has indeed changed, that your own free will has made a different choice. Hence the title of the Lavender Soul song I played at the beginning of this presentation. The song is called Choice. That your own free will has made a different choice and has anchored the everything is one principle deep within. Spirit says, will you let me change your mind? I say, yes, please. Look at the chair across from you where you are sitting now and let it reveal to you what it really is. Everyone in this room, if you would, find something in the room that you're in and just look at it and listen to my voice. See if you can make this happen. What I want you to do, as you're looking at this fixed thing, soften your gaze. Don't be so judgmental about what you're looking at, so to speak. Just take it in as you hear this. Look at the chair or whatever you're looking at across from where you're sitting now and let it reveal to you what it really is. Radiated light. Now begin to look at it without judgment, as purely as the eyes do. Say to yourself, there is no chair, or whatever it is you're looking at. There is no chair, there is no chair, there is no chair. And fall into that experience. What I see is light. Then keep looking. Keep looking. And what I said to Spirit when we were having this dialogue was, whoa. Spirit says, what is it, Keith? I said, I saw little flashes of light all over it. Spirit says, what you saw were the random blips of energy that give the chair its form. Good job. You're finally beginning to retrain yourself to not be such a slave to the mind's opinions, but to let the mind become a catalyst for truth. And the truth is that all matter is light compressed into specific vibrational forms decreed by the mind of the beholder. When you begin to see your own light in all things, you will then be able to transform your life. Because your thought or will, Yah, the heart, because your thought or will be imbued with the power to create with mere intention. And do not forget to use my love as your constant source of power. That hit me hard. Did anyone have any success doing the technique? Were you able to soften your gaze and see how everything seamlessly blends together? This is a monumental step in your capacity of vision. Monumental. Monumental. Yes, yes, yes. People had a success doing it. Wonderful. Another way to see energy is if you're driving down the expressway and in the distance you see a tree line. You see trees that follow the expressway, but make sure they're in a distance. And you will notice, as you look at the top of the trees, if you look about this far above the trees themselves, you will see an invisible duplicate. Try it tomorrow. If you've never seen this, write it down right now. Send yourself a message. Don't forget, when I drive today on the expressway, to look this far above the trees, and you will see an invisible duplicate. Because the trees themselves would be the physical manifestation of the soul's light as a tree. Physical form. And what you see above the tree line, the invisible duplicate, is the energy that is becoming dense, but not yet so fully dense it becomes physical matter. And if you've been practicing opening your third eye, well, for those who are not familiar with all that jargon, if you are experienced enough to be able to relax your vision and really take in light information, not only will you see the trees and the invisible duplicate this far above, but the better you get at it, you will see the energy get subtler and subtler in gradation until you can no longer take in said frequencies of bandwidth. When you achieve this level of vision, manifesting your life becomes easy. Because you begin to recognize yourself in all things. You become aware of your own light simply by the reflection of light. Hello, Mike Crutchfield. Dorothy. Dorothy says, I see it all the time. Sue says, yes, it is true. Everything has an aura. You can also call it Kirlian photography. From the divine principle. If you really want to manipulate energy, play with it, mold it, wield it, construct with it. If you really want to manipulate energy, it would be wise for you to practice changing your mind about many areas of your life, Spirit says. And I reply, so is that how Jesus changed water into wine? By changing his mind? Spirit says, there was a little more to it than that. But yes, there was a shift. Jesus had a head start because he had a pure heart that enabled the Christ to quickly unfold within him. Thus, Jesus, the man, became the Christ. When we have purified ourselves, that same divine lotus flower is going to open up within us. God lives here. Yah. Spirit continues, as you keep moving down life's timeline and up towards consciousness, the Christ will help you. The Christ energy will help you. Like it helped Jesus to accomplish many things. Once you begin to make that kind of shift, you will find that physical reality and lighter realities can be experienced simultaneously. That is exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm sure many of you in this room right now have shifted by this presentation. It has nothing to do with me. Not because I'm this awesome spiritual teacher. It's because you're awesome. Because you are awesome. You're the one that is reflecting this light within yourself and within me. And we're all doing this dance together. So you are experiencing the physical. Hello, by the way. But you feel that energy moving inside of you. You feel it. That's the lighter reality. And they get lighter and lighter and lighter when we stop being so heavy on ourselves. But your transition into higher, lighter realities will depend solely, spelled both ways, solely, upon you. And I say to Spirit, I understand how it will work for me, but how will it move? How will others move through this transition? Spirit says, most people will go through it at a moderate pace. This will give them the time to understand what is happening to them more clearly, to work with it and to apply it. And once everyone really gets the hang of it, you and they may not only want to move in and out of alternate realities, but you may decide to manipulate physical matter to create some playthings to enjoy. I said, wow. On the other hand, when you all become aware that you are the light that created your bodies, you can just as easily create new ones. Not that you're all not perfect as you are. It will be just as easy as choosing what clothes you want to wear. Of course, we may not be at this level of spiritual consciousness yet. At least in our conscious frame of reference. But there is some part of you that is still in the garden that can do exactly what it wants because it's connected consciously to spirit. We came down here for this lower lesson, so to speak, only to use it so we can refine ourselves, master the craft of opening up the gate so the light of God can anchor itself on this planet through everyone, hence the prophecy of heaven and earth. Dear Lord Yanava. We're moving to this time. In the future, it depends on the person. That we are able to perform super powerful things, superpowers. Some of you might choose to move out of individuality altogether and merge with the cosmic sea of divine energy. And some will decide to continue living on the planet as your highest idea, further anchoring heaven on earth. As you work on becoming more aware of your light body, spirit will stir dramatically and will let you know where you need to put more focus. And during such shifts, you will definitely begin to feel the heaviness of the body and the lightness of the spirit, depending on which way on the shift scale you are tilted. And I say, I know what you're talking about. I live this dynamic daily. Spirit continues. This bouncing body to spirit dynamic is just what you want to have happen in order to take those out-of-body journeys, as you call them. We're not going to go into out-of-body tonight. But the idea is you will become aware of your light when you feel your own matter, your own heaviness, because now you have a focal point. I'm focusing on my density. I can feel it. In fact, touch yourself. It's solid. It's pretty freaking real. It is manifested. Now that you have an anchor point to give the mind, the monkey is banana, something to do, back off. And because of the density that you feel in your body, now you can use it as a polar opposite reflection to let you feel you in your light. Do you understand? Do you understand that example, my friends? Same is true, like I said earlier, it's always a two-way street. When you are in lighter realities, playing in the cosmic playground, the Garden of Soul, Dorothy says yes, she understands. Become aware of your light. And from that space of being the light, when you're playing in the higher realities, just call up what it feels like to be in that body, that density. And down you come. So you touch the body. This seems so convincing. The monkey is now entertained. You leave you alone. And you step back. And you say, oh my God. What lives inside of my consciousness right now is so vast. It doesn't end. It's infinite. It's forever. Touch the body. Again. Connect with it. Appreciate it. Step back again. And now you're aware of yourself on two dimensions. The physical and the ethereal. So you're greater than you've always known. You're not just a meat suit. I just handed you something. That you were able to experience at least two dimensions of yourself. You've just experienced two dimensions of yourself. Touch the body. It's me. At least what I know. You gave the mind a task. You gave the monkey a banana. He wants to touch the body. He's entertained. Back off. And now you are so elevated, you can actually be the observer watching the lower self or the monkey or the mind playing the game down there. How did you do that? Sue says, thank you for that key. You made it so simple. It is always so simple. You're welcome, dear. So you're disassociating from your body. You didn't disown it. You used your will, not necessarily to leave it or move out of it. That's actually impossible. You do that, the body falls lifelessly on the ground. What you really did was left the life force energy to the body so it could sustain the body. And all you did was simply just shift your awareness to another aspect of yourself, which is just simply from here to here. There is a light field all around you. An auric field all around you. You're 98.6 degrees. You walk into a 98.6 degree temperature day and you go, my God, it is so hot outside. I got to go inside. And we know the sun to be energy. And we can see it from 93 million miles away. And it still has that kind of effect. Imagine if you stand next to a person who is 98.6 degrees energy. Your auras are overlapping each other, having a dialogue that both of you know nothing about. Power up. Recognize what's happening. Recognize what just happened. The body. Back off. And in so doing, because you're getting close to spirit, which is power, and you're metaphorically going up, power up. Plug into it. Stay powered up. Stay plugged into it as often as you possibly can. And with mere thought, your life will unfold in ways you never thought possible that you had to work your ass off to do. This is serious spiritual technology. And it is a technology. It's life-changing technology. In the past, it seemed like all these speakers, all these presenters, all these teachers, all these gurus that we see on TV. It's about work, work, work. You got to do this. All you want to really move through this thing, it's not all that. It's a bunch of noise. I'm not saying that back in those days, 10 years ago, that this is not the way of it. That this was not the way of it. Because that's where we were in consciousness. I truly feel that enough of the work has been done by the collective, yet another door has opened up, allowing us the freedom and the power to merely intend to bring about joy, bliss, peace, abundance, grace, loving relationships. Loving meaning I unconditionally love you. You do your thing. And I'm at peace with myself because just do your thing, man. Whatever that thing is. It doesn't break things down to where it requires someone to be or do a certain something, regardless of what it is. Anything else is not unconditional love. They call it's conditional love. There's no power in that. Because when we unconditionally step back, we're powering up. Because we're recognizing I'm not separate from anything. And because if I'm not separate from anything, there is no separation between me and this person, or me and this event, or me and this thing. And now we simply allow it to be as it is. But when it's something you want to experience in your life, it shows up simply by allowance. Allowing it to be. Allowing it to be there. Be here. Plugging in. We talked about recognize, recognize, recognize. This. When you see light, plugging in. Again, that's the gate. That's the vortex. That's the portal. That's the entrance into the garden. That's the golden door that we rap on. Let me in. And I am willing to do whatever it takes so that golden door goes. Right? That kind of sincerity will place you in the garden without ever walking through the door. You will feel it. That's how you plug in. Ya, na, va. Heart, will, na, mind, intellect, va, backbone, action. That's how you plug in. You plug in by intention to plug in. I'm plugged in. Could it be that easy? There is no other way. Plugging in. Many different ways to do it. You can touch your heart. Touch your heart, invoke a deity. Jesus. Your grandmother. Whatever. Because to be really honest with you, none of that even matters. I'm not saying whatsoever that Yeshua, Jesus, or your grandmother won't come along for the ride and give you a boost. What I'm saying is, from our perspective, these are ideas, that archetypes that we're using as excuses to tap into power. Look where my hand is. I never left my chest. Here's a plug. I'm plugging in. I'm plugging in. And you feel that energy begin to engulf you. I'm plugging into the outlet, or rather, the inlet, because we are the outlet. That's the inlet. And we are the outlet. So the first part of this presentation was on recognizing what the heck all this energy is moving. What is it? Who does it belong to? What's its name? It's your name. It's my name. It's everyone's name. It looks like everything. There is no name that is not its, and there's no form that it does not bear. And when you begin to see that, because you recognize it, when you plug in, you begin to feel it. I intend to feel it. The next logical step that happens pretty much on its own is the action. So again, this comes in threes. Recognize. I want to see all of it. Ya, the heart, which is connected to everything. I want to plug in. So I'm going to use na, my mind, and call on my grandmother or my favorite deity or whatever it is I feel or think that is going to bring me my source of power as I plug into the inlet. Then all that's left is carrying it out with va, the backbone. So plugging in is simply all about intention. To spin the energy. I want to spin it. I see all this magical stuff out here. And God dang it, I want some of it. Wow, I had an amazing glimpse of, I had a vision of a future event that looked beautiful for the betterment of humanity. That's pretty cool as well. Plug into it, bring it about. You don't need a toolbox. You don't need power tools that you plug into the wall. I'm handing you the power tools for you to become an excellent craftsman as you erect your house, your consciousness, erect it upward, metaphorically. The way out is in. Inward is upward, upward is forward. Inward is upward, upward is forward. And this is how we begin to build our house. And it starts from only having a very solid foundation. That's how we deliberately create our lives, is having a very solid foundation and being planted in it, in the soul. In the soul, you will meet again your deceased loved ones. In the soul, you will feel your connection to the Christ. In the soul, you will feel your connection to the Buddha. In the soul, in the soul, in the soul. It's all in there. All of it. Infinitely. Many of you have felt it often when I do these presentations and I lead you inward. You feel that expansiveness, that all-encompassing, forever expansiveness. And it will never end. The playground is larger than you can possibly imagine. And so to the final part of manifesting, I see, I'm plugged in. Now I sit back. Sort of like driving that red Ferrari or just a car in general. I'm old enough, I'm 15 or 16, that I'm able to see above the dashboard. That which was always an obstacle before I grew up. Now that I'm spiritually mature, I can see above the dashboard. I can see. And because I can see, I put my seatbelt on, or rather, I should take it off. And you engage, and you begin to drive your car. You begin to plug into the experience of actually driving the car because you can see. Before, you couldn't drive the car because you couldn't see. And that will always make you crash. Analogous, metaphorical. Now that you can see, because you recognize what's going on and what it's all about, and you plugged in because you're sitting in the car, got your hand on the wheel, that red Ferrari, and you gas it, that's power. But along with this car is analogous to manifesting, which would be cruise control. You put it on, you leave it alone. And now that you're riding in cruise control, because you recognize plug-in and you're waiting and you're learning how to manifest the refinement process, even though you're on automatic pilot, cruise control, you still have to turn the wheel. So every once in a while, you water the plant by reinforcing your intention to bring about said experience in your life. That's it. I know when something happens that is not of a joyful nature, someone left your life, relationship, someone passed away, you lost your job, you're tired of life sucking. If you use this video when it goes into archive as a daily motivation and inspiration for you, if this is how life is for you, it will change. It will change simply. Hello, Janelle. Hello, Killerette. So once we begin to see what this dynamic of energy that is moving throughout the world, through all people and through every event, something is moving it. You look out and about and you see people walking on the street. Something is moving those people. The events that unfold in our life, something is moving it. I want to know what that something is. I've wanted to know for many years and I found it. And it's everything and it's everywhere. And it's beyond description. It's beyond idea. In fact, it is so beyond. It's never had a beginning, nor will it ever have an end. It just is. Always is and forever will be is. And there's a current. There's a deliberate, intentional cosmic current. When you recognize that current, oh my God, it's God. It's that which is moving everything. It's a symphony all playing itself either together or there's going to be some really bad notes. Is your life a beautiful song? Or is your life the blues? When you begin to see that orchestration, even the things that we see as dissonant and chaotic are actually, believe it or not, still in the range, it's still order. Because we're not seeing it as a chaotic experience. What I am now seeing is whatever is creating that experience, whatever is moving that experience is order. There's only one creator and he's sustaining all of it. And we begin to affect the tapestry when we recognize what it is. It's me. Because I'm conscious. Now I can make a difference. I intend. Things begin to move. Leave it alone because you trust. You don't plant a seed only for next week to go dig up the seed to see if it's germinating. That disturbs the cycle. That'd be ridiculous. But it doesn't mean every once in a while you can't water the seed. Give life nourishing energy. When you steadfast focus on what you want to have, bring, experience. Again, in closing, we have to learn how to recognize what it is that is moving everything in the world. The human dance, the dynamic of events that are playing themselves out. And until we do, we will never find the socket to plug into because it's all just moving. Because I'm swayed by the current. I'm swayed by the bad people. I'm swayed by the good current people. So I don't know where in the heck I'm going to plug in. But when we stop, we slow down. Oh my God, there's the plug. And you plug right there. and you plugged in. And now that you plugged in, you feel the power. You feel the power of your soul existing in your consciousness, in your body, and you see it move in your life. This is the new religion. It's the old religion that's coming back in a new way. It's called Yanavaism, the name of the soul. What we were doing before we came to earth, when we were still divine children playing in the garden. It doesn't nullify or exempt anyone's belief or practice, creed, code, or sect. In fact, what it does, it unifies them. It brings them all together because it extracts the common message, the core teaching that is moved, exists, written in all scripture, that is about peace, love, and unity for all people. That's power. That is divine power. Military might is not power. It is brute force. It is abuse. I didn't make the law. I just follow it. Manifest your life. Again, if you want one-on-one time with me, you want to engage in this program, I will light you on fire. I will hand you the torch that lives within my heart. Go to centeroflightradio.com. The bottom of the page, click on that red Ferrari. It'll take you to my website for RPM, Recognize, Plug In, and Manifest Your Life. It'll tell you what you get and what you will be able to create, which I tell you is exactly anything you want. Anything. There is nothing that is a limitation. You get one-on-one time with me, so I can be a sounding board for you, help you get clear, and you will be able to feel, oh my God, I feel that it's close into my experience. It's coming because I feel it. People who know me personally, I do this all the time. I say, something is changing with me. I'm about to do this, or this is about to happen, and it happens. Because it becomes palpable, because it becomes thicker. It begins to congeal in your life. So how could you not feel it in your feeling base? You begin to feel it. It's not just a whimsical idea. Something inside tells you, you better hold on to your ass. You're about to get what you want. And when you get it, it's even greater than you thought. God is good. Live in that grace. But God's grace will not happen for you until you're graceful with yourself. Because when you're graceful with yourself, that is the door to greater grace. God does not impinge on your free will. Never will. That's called unconditional love. You want to experience God's love for you? Love yourself. Because you will never understand the subtle or the minute. Let me rephrase that. You will never be able to take in or experience the grandeur, the majesty, the infinite, if we cannot grasp the tiny, puny little self. So when we open up the door of grace within ourselves, then it gets filled with grace. Be easy with everything. Everything. Don't talk so much. Go without talking for a day unless you just have to. Be easy. Because often in talking is too much. Lots of noise. And in your silence for a couple of days, the veil gets removed and you begin to see. And you begin to see because you recognize. And now that you see it, because you recognize it, you know where the inlet is and you plug into it. Dana says, eye-opening broadcast, no pun intended. Thank you, Dana. I appreciate it. Recognize the dynamic that's moving in the world. More importantly, recognize the dynamic that's moving within you. When you do, you will understand what's moving in the world. And you will know that it is no different from you. They are the same energetic movement. I see now. Dear Lord, I can see. This is what I thought seeing was my whole life. Wow, I can see. There's the inlet. Engage. Plug in. Offer your suggestions. Let them go. God grants you gifts. The infinite wishing tree says, whatever you want, you can have it. You want drama? I love you. You can have it. You want magic, miracles, synchronicity, serendipity, alignments? You can have it. You want so much peace to fill your body that you explode in light every morning you wake up? You can have it. It's not an arduous task. Always remember what I say these words. It's never hard. And since it's not hard, we will always miss the mark when we're hard on ourselves. Recognize, dear friends, open up your eyes. In so doing, you open up your eye, the inner eye, that sees in all capacity, all directions. It's called vision. You open this up, you're playing with power. And then you begin to realize, I am not separate from anything, so there really is nothing that I want. Because you're whole and complete. Now that you know that you're not separate from anything, nothing is out of your grasp. It's simply like reaching over and grabbing something. That's a nice bite of food. I'm going to take it. That's a nice bite of food. I'm going to grab it. It can be this easy for you. It can be. Yanava, it is complete. Thank you very much, everyone. Hope you had a wonderful 3-day weekend. Again, if you want some one-on-one time with me, you want to try my program, RPM, Recognize, Plug In, and Manifest, go to centeroflightradio.com, click on that red Ferrari. It'll tell you about the program. You get some one-on-one time with me, and I will be a guide for you to experience what it is you absolutely desire and deserve. If you want a free session to see what that's about, go to Keith Anthony Blanchard at Gmail. Say, Keith, I would love that free session. Set you up. Sue, you're welcome. Everyone, you're welcome. I appreciate you greatly, everyone. When you lay down at night, you have nothing to do, might as well do a little bit of something. Start breathing like you want something beyond what you've ever known that will fill you so full of bliss in your life. And breathe from that perspective. It will change everything. From just breathing to your intention opens up a portal in particular. And you will find yourself in the profound, deafening silence of your divine parent. Be still and know that I am God. And you will feel that power as you begin to see that you are not disconnected from everything. You are so connected to everything. You begin to crossfade your sleep experience into your open-eyed life. And then you're living 2 dimensions simultaneously. And the power to manifest that you will have when you become conscious of these aspects of yourself. In so doing, you will shed your fear of death and fire up the engine of life. Peace, love, and light. Love you.